Today on the Strong Women podcast, my dear friend Jeannette Simba is with us. And Jeannette is from Rwanda and immigrated here to America in 1998. So she's been here a while. And she works harder than any woman I know. And she also not only works harder than anybody I know, but she is so generous with her time. I mean, every time I call her, she answers just about, unless she can't. And I think she does that with everybody. And then also she is so invested in helping refugees who are coming to America for the first time get situated. And let me tell you a little bit about how Jeannette and I first met. So we go to a small church in Colorado Springs, and several years ago, a African family started coming to our church. And I didn't know anything about their story because they speak Swahili, I speak English, and all we could do to show each other that we cared was we smiled a lot, we hugged a lot, we shook hands a lot, I talked to the kids a lot. And so that's how we originally started our friendship, which is funny to start a friendship without being able to actually talk the same language. So that's been an experience to learn. But anyway, several months after they started coming to our church, they were having their daughter baptized, Yamima. And so in the middle of the service, I was so excited about this baptism. First of all, because baptisms are just incredible. There's something mysterious that takes place, and it's almost like the curtains of eternity are flappy at those events. You know what I mean? Like you can almost see what the big thing is all about, but not quite. It just flashes by. But anyway, so I was really looking forward to this baptism, and so before the baptism happened, I was going to run out and go to the ladies' room real quick. And as I was leaving, Terrence, the father, saw me, and he's motioning for me to follow him. So I follow him into our pastor's office, and that is the first time I met Jeannette. And Jeannette was there to help translate for the baptism. And the first thing she said to me was, "They would like for you to be the godmother." And I feel like I almost fainted because I was kind of like, what does that even mean in African culture? Like, am I going to be like, I don't know. I don't know. What does it even mean? And so Jeannette started walking me through it, and I said, okay, hold on. Can I go get my husband? And she says, is that how you do it here? And I'm like, I don't know, but yes, I'd want to have my husband along for this journey. So I go get him, I tell him, and he's like, whoa. So we go back, we get to meet Jeannette. And then after the baptism, Jeannette says, the family would like to ask you over for sodas, which I've learned is kind of an African thing, right? Mm-hmm. So I got to sit down with Jeannette and hear more of their story, which I won't say here because I don't want to give away anything that they would not like me to. But the short of it is they are refugees from Tanzania. And so our lives have become very entwined because we have developed a friendship in our mutual trying to help them. And so I'm so grateful for you, Jeannette. I've learned so much from you. And I appreciate that you allow me to just ask questions. And normally I say things that are kind of silly, but you don't make fun of me. And because it's unknown, there's so much unknown about this friendship with someone from a different culture, a different area of the world. And it's a learning process. And I've learned a lot from you. So anyway, thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Okay, Jeannette, we want to hear about your ministry to refugee families, but we first want to hear about you. And okay, so we know you're from Rwanda, but tell us about your home growing up. The family you grew up in, was it a Christian home? Just tell us about, your family.
Okay, so my name is Jeannette Simba, like Sarah say. I grew up in Rwanda. So I came to United States 1998 to start off a new life as immigrant in America. I live in the war where we have a genocide 1994, but I was not pleased of what was going on in the country during that time because you still see people hurting, people, you have so many bad memories over there. Because you can't live around the death, around people who die on the side of the road. So I was like, I think if I were able to change to any country, I'll go to America because it's a bigger, it's expand. You're not crowded. I was grew up in the capital of Rwanda, which is Kigali. And all my life I lived in Kigali till the genocide came, and we afraid to go to live in Congo because my father's from Congo, my mother's from Rwanda. And I was raised in Catholic home. As I grew older, I began to just loving God. And when I came to United States of America, I realized how God really did protect me. I'm not talking about nobody else, my family too, but especially I would say me because I was facing me. And I was facing the backlashes of the genocide, losing loved one. In the genocide, I lost 2 brothers of mine. And they were very close to me. One was 4 years older than me, one was 2 years older than me. But when I got in America, it was very hard for me because my memory, I keep thinking they're alive because we never see their dead body. So long story short, I just keep praying God to give me peace, to give me comfort, just to have a day without crying because missing my siblings, just them, since they're no longer in this world. And God did come for me. So is God come for me? I live in this country. I began, because I was a hairdresser and I was going to school to become somebody.
You are somebody, Jeannette.
Okay, so when you first, well, first of all, so you came in 1998. Did you come on a student visa? I mean, you were young.
I came on a green card.
A green card, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And then where did you first come in America?
Colorado Springs.
You came here first.
And
okay.
I fall in love with Colorado Springs. It's so beautiful. It's such a breathing area, Colorado Springs. And I came through Denver, but I didn't quite like Denver since I put my eye to it. But once I reached Colorado Springs, I was like, oh, this is beautiful. It's got mountains, hills. Like Rwanda, we have hills and valleys. So I was like, I love just the sense of that I feel peace, I feel breathing. I feel like not crowded place. Yeah. Coming from place where all this turmoil has been going through the war and family moving, with your family. This one is in this Tanzania is an example. When you become in the war country, you don't know where your family member is gonna be. Only thing you gotta find yourself where you are. So my family was in Congo, I was in Rwanda, some of them was in Uganda. So it was all different places.
And you came here by yourself?
Yes.
How old were you?
I was 19.
19.
Yes. So I have come here and I enjoy being in America. Mm-hmm. I didn't even miss my own country. That's how much peaceful I was in my heart. I was like, I'm so peaceful in this country. No matter how hard life it looks like, because it's no country, no life, no understanding. I was like, I'm adjust. But I adjust by prayer. Mm-hmm. I begin prayer, our Father which is in heaven. That will be done. I say, if your will be done, I should be calm. I should be peaceful. I should be happy in Colorado Springs. So I did, and I went to school for my ESL. Of course, when you're new in a country, when you come from a country that speak French, you have to adjust the languages. So I went to the ESL. I fell in love with my teachers who was teaching me more English. I know English in the high school, but I need American English. English in Rwanda was British English. I need to be fluent in American English because when I first got here, you will not speak and I know what you're speaking because you're talking too fast.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing.
You talk pretty fast, too.
Same thing with me when I'm talking.
Yes.
Americans say, you're talking too fast. Slow down.
Slow down, girl.
So it's how I felt the same time, too, when I first got here. When you say, you know what I say, I did not get that word in my brain. Yeah. It was so difficult to repeat it.
Yeah.
Just to
when
say,
someone says, do you know what I'm saying?
I did not get that word.
You didn't get.
I didn't get for so long.
You don't understand why they're saying it. Yes.
I was like, that word is too fast. What did it just
Yeah.
mean? So I went to school and I began to know more English with Hispanic American who came migrate here. So majority of my life growing a little older in America, I was schooled a lot of Hispanic, a lot of people from Russia who came here to live here, and Polish people. So they were all my classmates. We was all people.
All in the English classes
So English
together.
was so
yeah.
easy for me to learn because I didn't have distraction with my language.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, I say, Lord, I am a hairdresser. I know I love to do hair. I love to make women beautiful. But I want something that is going to be meaning to you, for your goodness for me. And I would like to do something for somebody who can do for themselves. And I saw the TV one day, and I saw the elderly home care, like in the home and nursing home. And right away they said, that's what you can do. I say, what I'm gonna do there? I'm not a nurse. So you gotta go to school and give your nurse assistant license and take care of the elderly and give them your passion, your love. Since then I went to school and I became nurse assistant. In 2002, I was a nurse assistant, and I stayed doing that for so long, to 2009. And I begin to meet refugees around Colorado Springs. They begin to be like, I need help with this, but I don't know what to do. And I met the first refugees that I know in Colorado Springs who've been here before. Tell us them. They've been here probably like 17 years. I begin to speak with them. I begin they begin to tell me what they're going through. Is they moving in? How they're having a hard time to adjust what they want to do. I'm like, you have to go to school. Keep going to school. So anyway, the agents brings the refugee here is the Lutheran Family Service. It does such a beautiful job. I even assist with the Lutheran Family Services, to help refugees to cope with Colorado life or American culture, because the culture is important. If you don't know my culture, I get lost, and you get lost from me and you talking. Like we always talk, whenever I say something wrong, let me know.
Yeah.
Whenever you
And
know.
you let me say,
Yeah.
like when I say things wrong, you're like,
Yes, so it's very important. But again, you gotta remember the country you're living in is a refugee. I always remind a refugee, this is America. America, we do things this way. The reason why we do this way, this country is huge. So every country, every state have their own governor, mayor, you goes on, and whoever represents you. So Lutheran is representing you to welcoming you here.
Ruchan is the group that.
Yeah.
Lutheran.
Lutheran.
She's saying Lutheran.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't. I was
Lutheran is
misunderstanding.
a-
Okay,
yeah, family
Lutheran
service.
Family Services
Yes.
is who you connected with.
Yeah.
Okay, wait,
Okay.
let me stop you for just a minute because I'm curious, and we've talked about this before. I think it'd be helpful for our listeners. But when America places people, like you were brought to Denver, but there's a lot of refugees in Colorado Springs. There's also a lot of refugees in like San Francisco and some of those places.
In Denver.
And so I thought you helped explain that really well to me one time. Why do they choose different places like Colorado Springs? Like, what is it about Colorado Springs that's welcoming, hopefully, to refugees?
Colorado, can't do too much in detail about Colorado Springs, but
Yeah.
I believe we need more place where they can have peace of mind. So they like to put the refugee place where it's quiet, because they're coming from turmoil, place where it's loud. They've been through all this hard life. So they put place where they know it's not going to be hard for them to live.
Yeah.
That is what I see every time I don't see them in a big city like, hi, I don't know where I'm going or where I'm going to get lost.
Like in the middle of New York City.
Yeah, and when
drop
they
'em
get
in
to
the-
here, the family, the settlement family that is helping them, it shows them how to go to the bus, how to go to the doctor, how to go get a grocery. So, and then we have a wonderful American people, volunteers. they're really a blessing for families, the refugees.
Yeah.
They will come and give their time to the families, teach them how to go like to grocery, how to budgeting their income, their money they're receiving for assistance. In the beginning, they have assistance from the state, and then they start working. They get on their feet. They are hard workers. One thing you're gonna see in the refugee, they are very hard worker. One thing you're not gonna give from them, they're not gonna talk back to you or talk.
They're not gonna what?
They're not gonna talk like I'm talking. They're gonna be quiet because they are flesh in the country. They don't speak English.
Yeah.
You might work with them and you be like, why you not talking? I don't speak English, so I
Yeah.
can't talk.
Right.
You might be my boss, you might be my manager. I'm looking down, not because I'm rude, but because I'm not respecting you, because that's what I'm used to.
Right.
So that's another thing I came like to encouraging families when I begin to work with them, to learn how to look at you in the face and talk with you without worrying about you're gonna be upset because I'm looking at you in the face.
Huh.
So in our coach, the kids don't look you in the face. It's part of respect. They bow. They don't bow on the knee, but they bow their head. They just show a form of respect anyhow.
Yeah.
If it's the hand respect, they will show you the hand respect. If it's the head respect, they will show the respect. If it's the answering respect, they will show you the answering respect. So I begin to let them know here in America, we like to speak up. Speak up so I know what you want me to do for you. In case you need help, I know you need help of this or of that. So we start teaching them how to speak up. And that's the main thing. We like keep talking. And for me, I don't work as a full-time worker because I want to reach out for those in need when they need me. My husband and I, we came to be like, we want to make sure one of us is available when some are refugees that need help, because sometimes the settlement agencies, they help, and then after 1 year, they usually stop. After 5 years, you're usually on your own knowing what to do after 5 years. But in that 5 years period, if you lose job, you can go back to the settlement agency and they will help you to look for a job. So you see, it's like a 5 years period. But of course, we have a new families that coming in America. They have to take care of those another new family and graduate the ones who've been there for so long.
So you leave purposeful margin in your schedule, so you don't work full time, you said.
No.
So that, but you do that on purpose.
Yes, ma'am.
So that you have time
Yes, ma'am.
to volunteer.
Which means you do work full time because there's so many. You're helping so many people.
Well, but I love that
I know.
purposeful leaving margin, which is not an American thing to do. You know,
yes.
I mean, there are of course Americans that do that, but it's just, you know, the American way is like work as hard as you can,
Yes.
and there just isn't a lot of margin in our schedule.
Yes.
And so you're leaving the margin from the job you have to show up to have time for the people who really need you, for all that God's doing
Yes.
outside of your regular job
Yes,
too.
ma'am.
Yeah.
And then, because the families that are coming here, they have in mind what America's going to be like. You probably did too.
Yes.
And it's probably pretty different than what they have
yes.
in their minds. I mean, it is such, I mean, just walking with our friends, our mutual friends that have immigrated here, it is tricky. There is so many details for them
Yes.
to figure out. And then on top of that, not knowing English very well, they're learning, but I mean, there's just, it's way more complicated than I imagined. But talk about, you know, as you came, what did you have in mind that America was like, and what were you surprised by?
Oh, I thought it was American honey, but I always know it's no way it's gonna be American honey. It's gonna be hard.
What do you mean by American honey? Are you saying
milk
American?
and honey.
Oh, milk and honey. Okay.
You know, I thought America's gonna be so clean, no dirty place. Because, you know, when you come from Africa or the third world country, all you think is negative. So I thought I would never see, like, things on the side, the roads cracked up, I'm sorry to use break the bar when you go with your vehicle.
Right.
You'll be like, boom. So I thought it was going to be like smooth road and no place I'm going to see the dirty road. That's my thinking when I was in Africa. And then my friend, who's here, they would tell me, no, you're going to see those things when you get here. We have a homeless, we have a people who don't have life they want because the circumstance of their life. I say, yeah, now I see it, I'm here. I believe you. Before, I didn't believe you. So when we talk to people who's in abroad and we Americans, they don't believe everything we're telling them.
Yeah.
Then when they get to the country, they realize it. Yes, America, they're hard worker.
Yeah.
Americans, we are hard worker. We work hard. So just to say, I'm not working full time. I'm working other works.
Yeah.
That I'm doing it, but I don't expect anything from it. I'm just expecting helping somebody meet their life goal.
Right.
Yeah. So we are hard worker.
Oh yeah.
We keep up on our timing. Name it. I can go from here to Greedy to just work, and then to make sure I meet the need of that person I am going to work for. That's the reason why we go that far. So I have a client I used to take care of for probably 10 years. I take care of him. I used to go from Colorado Springs all the way to Greedy. Every weekend I would stay in a hotel just to make sure I was there for the need of that client. But that client, I'm telling you, he died in peace because God showed him love. So we work hard, Americans.
Oh yeah. Okay, I gotta go back to how you plan your day, like Aaron was pointing out earlier, with the margin.
Yes.
To be able to do those, those sort of caring for others sort of thing.
Yes.
But you've built your home. I don't know if you built your home, but
Yes,
but
we
your
did.
home is way out there.
Yes.
In the middle of nowhere, but it is so peaceful, and I had the privilege of going and having a meal with you out there and our friends.
Yes.
And I looked out and I said, "Oh, you have a garden too? What do you not do, lady?" And you had beans and things like that. But you said, "Well, I let the refugees garden here because they don't always have land." So tell us more about your home, because it really you drive up to your home and you do feel peace.
Yes.
It is a welcoming place.
Yes.
And but you see even that as part of your ministry.
Yes. So my home, I used to live in city life here, and I decided to move away from the city. So by the end of the day, I want to go and just rest and relax, feel like I'm away from everything. Just like where I left Rwanda in the city, I want to be at home and feel like I'm peaceful. So we built that home in 2017. We built to know if there's anybody need place to get away for, they could come to our home and get away from the city. It could be stress, it could be attacks of the life, or you could do even just one honeymoon to get away from the city, and you don't have money for a hotel, and you're African or you're anybody. You can come and rest with us. That's why we built that home. And then when the family comes, we have a big family. I have big family. My husband got big family, so they always will have. We won't have to worry about going town. We will have everything right there and just sit and watch the mountain, the beauty of Colorado Springs. So garden, I offer to the families who want to garden. They comes every year and garden, and then we water for them because it's very hard for them to come every day to water the garden. So I don't garden, but I can. My husband water most, and sometimes I help out. Yeah, when I want to feed the breeze, but I have an allergy problem, so I'm not out too much. Yes.
So when we went for dinner, they had these amazing beans, and I was like, "Wow, these beans are so good." She's like, "It's from my garden."
Yes, and they give
"Gosh,
us
lady."
some. Yeah. It was good beans.
It was so good.
Yeah.
That's wonderful that you don't even garden, but you have the land to let other people garden.
Yes.
Okay, one thing you said, Jeannette, that it kind of gave me chills when you said it is, as you were talking, you you changed you said you didn't just say Americans, but you said we. And so now you identify as American. You are an American citizen.
Ma'am.
And that just kind of gave me chills because, there's a lot of problems in America, like every country, because we're human beings. And so there's all kinds of issues. But one thing that I love about America is that you can come from Rwanda and you can come here and you can learn the language and you can become a part of our country and you can become American.
Yes.
No matter where you're from or your background or whatever.
Yes.
And I love that you're an American. Not only are you a sister in Christ, but you're an American too. And
Yes.
I just wanted to highlight that because
Thank you.
it shows you actually like being here, you want to be here, and then you're helping other families to see that becoming American is a good thing.
It's a blessing.
So maybe you could just talk about that. Like how did you, because it's not like you have to disassociate yourself from Rwanda, your family, the Congo, all of your family over there still. But what has, I don't know, I guess I'm just wondering your thoughts on that, like on America and coming here, being someone who came from somewhere else, but now feeling like you're a we with us.
Even with all the cracks in the road.
Even with the dirt and not the land of milk and honey, but obviously a land that you thought, oh, I want to stay here.
Yes. So America is a good country. So America gives us ability to be a blessing to those who, unfortunately, those who are down than us. We become America is a citizenship. You apply for a green card. After 5 years, you get your citizenship. After citizenship, you can sponsor your mom, your dad, your spouse. It's hard, but it still is available for you to use it. Some people are stuck in immigration issues. Yes, I understand, but still, once you get to America, you enjoy become American because it's everything. It's no different for you than I. We are equal and it becomes what we are to receive. So that I don't make any difference. So when I tell people, you still African mindset, they laugh at me. I say, you gonna be American mindset because this is where you live. So for me to live in this country, I have to realize I don't have too much that I'm gonna hold on in Rwanda or Congo. I have so much I'm gonna hold on in America because that's where I live. That's where my life is. From 19-year-old to this age of 43, I live here. So
yeah,
I am an American.
Yes.
I vote.
Oh, good for you. I
pray
love
for my land.
Yes.
I pray for Rwanda.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
most I have to acknowledge that, yes, we American, we got to do good. We got to help those who can. When people come here, they have opportunity. Big opportunity that we don't have in our countries. Yes, our country, they loves us. Our homeland, they loves us. But that opportunity to have what you want. You want a job, but you don't have a job. You want a good life, but you're in the refugee camp. But America says, I'm opening to those people who stuck in the camp to come here and make their way to live, make their life work. They comes and have better life. They comes, you know what's amazed me? They come, they're not even 1 year here because we American helping them to learn the country. They learn how to drive. They get their drive license. Isn't that amazing? So it shows you whatever we do, we put our hands out to help. It's not for nothing, it's for something. Yes.
So how did you talked about sponsoring family members to come over, and I had the privilege of meeting your mom.
Yes.
And I love her because she kept telling me how young I look. Remember that?
Yes.
I was like, she's great. I love her. But no, she was really great. But how did that happen? Because she didn't come. You said you came by yourself.
Yes, my mama came in 2016.
Okay.
She came, I think it was almost 2017. She came is a visa.
Okay.
So when you are the parents, you can come visit anytime. Or when you are husband or a wife or a child, you can come and visit American.
So
'Cause I
because
am
you were a
American.
citizen,
Yeah.
your mom could come and visit.
Yes.
Okay.
And then she have a right to the green card because me.
Okay.
Yeah, I am a citizen. So and she's my mother or my father. So it's easier for her to come and receive the American citizenship, receive whatever they offer to American parents for them. Yeah, so
Okay.
she's just like I am, but only thing she's missing is citizenship.
Okay.
Yes.
Is she? Will that be hard to do, or is she?
No, it was hard because her age, of course.
Okay.
You know, the other person tell you, I don't want this right now. I want this right now. I want this. Yeah. So it was not as hard as for young people. Young people is harder. Like if I was to invite my sister, they have so many questions for her to come. They're like, do you own a property in Rwanda? She'd be like, no. Okay, you can go. You are married? No, you can't go. So you have to be married or own property. That something will make you come back to America. So you know America's loved.
Yeah.
If people gonna come and want to stay here with no green card, just because they want to change in their life.
So is your sister still in Rwanda?
She is in Canada. She lives in Canada,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
But they would never want her to come here to visit. So she got a visa in Canada. That's where she stays.
So when was the last time you saw her?
Oh my goodness, 2013.
Wow.
That's when I was in Rwanda visiting my mother.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Which sounds, I mean, it's so strange to a lot of us. I mean, what you have sacrificed, what you sacrificed to come here, most of us don't have to choose to leave our families in that way. Even if in America we moved to another state or something, we would move to another state, but no, well, we'll see our parents, you know, at Christmas or whatever. And I think that's something about a refugee family or even a single person like you were, that what they have, not only what they've gone through in their country to be a refugee, obviously they're coming out of, like you said, so much turmoil. But then you leave not knowing if you'll ever see your family again, when you get to see them. And I think that is important for Americans here to understand when we do meet refugees, when we hear of refugee families, to know. And just to think, oh, most likely they don't have family here. And they've had to leave a lot behind. And they're probably pretty scared and alone. And it should give us compassion in that way. Maybe you could talk about, Jeannette. I asked about, America, what you becoming American, but thinking about you as you came here and then other refugee families. What are some of the things you miss about home? Is it what I was just talking about? Is it mostly, of course, it's our family that we're going to miss the most, but is there stuff about Rwanda that was hard when you came here that you thought, oh man, I really miss this part about, maybe it's the culture? Was there things about it?
Yeah, I miss value.
Value.
Yeah, they have values. Like, we value each other highly. We don't just look nobody down.
Okay, so explain how that's different, because I think you're right, and I want you to...
So, like, if you have a friend or family members who live so far or whatever, apart from each other, you still value them. They are like your friend or they're your family. You make people know that they love. So if you have, you don't have, you still value your relationship, your friendship. You value, you just value each other. You're not like, oh, you have your life, I have my life. We don't do that.
Okay. So
we
the
value,
ties, you're tied together.
Yes.
More like there's loyalty. Loyalty
yes.
is what you're talking about?
Yeah, but this country, in America, the reason why we don't have that, everybody have their life. They're like busy.
Everyone has their individual
I'm
life.
so busy for my life, I don't have time for this. So I don't think that is good.
Yeah.
It keeps the family separated.
Right.
Even when you try to bring that value to American, they don't get it right away.
Yeah.
You gotta keep talking and keep talking to the point when they see that value is coming. Or you just, for me, I just be quiet and let you see me. You know me, Sarah.
Oh, yeah.
I just sit back and let you see yourself and see what I'm doing. So I'm giving you my time to value you, to show you that relationship, friendship we have. Sarah is like my sister, you like my sister. So whatever that I have, you don't have, if you need it, if you ask for me, I am handing to you. Not because you want to use me or I want to use you. It's because I value. I'm valuing your, the power of love. You love me, I love you. So it means when you need something and I have it, we have that in Africa. We have that family ties. Like when I have, and I know somebody who don't have in my family, maybe it's just Jeannette, I don't know. I just feel I have to help. I have to give. I have to be a blessing. And I feel good once I did it. Because that's the value. I'm valuing my loved one. I'm valuing my sister. I'm valuing my friends. I'm valuing my neighbors. Only thing I don't do maybe is I might not come and hang with you too long because I'm in America now. I'm ready to go.
So now we've influenced.
I'm so busy.
Bye, my
Now
son.
we've
I gotta go.
influenced
I have this one. I gotta go.
But you know what that's sounding like to me, and let me just draw this out a little bit.
Yes.
In our culture right now, there is this deep sense of like a loss of belonging. And what you're describing to me right now is that belonging. Like we belong together.
Yes.
And that, like, all of us long for that. It's just a place with other people. Like that we're sisters, and I know that you care for me, and I care for you, and same with Aaron. Like the sense of belonging, we've lost that so much, especially with all the technology, which technology is great, but then some of the side, failings of technology, or it kind of
Keeps
it keeps us from that sense of I'll drop anything for this friend of mine, this sister of mine, That's so challenging, and I'm learning a lot about that because, we're American. It's ingrained in us. Sorry, I got a busy life here. And,
Yes, and I love how you brought out that you want to help us learn how to value people the way the African culture does. And so you're not going to just tell everybody, but you said, watch me. And I think that is, I know that you've had an effect on Sarah's life. And I think that's really powerful to live away and say, watch me, as you follow Christ. And that's what Christ says, follow me, live like how I lived. And that's what you're doing, and how you're saying value people, and if you're not sure how to do it, well, watch me.
Amen.
This is how you do it. So I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeannette, we have a lot of young women who listen to the podcast.
Yes.
And you have a lot of wisdom. So we would love for you to share. Okay, if you were sitting with a young girl and she said, Jeannette, what advice do you have for me? Now, I know you could say a lot because you would have a lot of advice, but what's some of the...
Sit back. We got a long time with Jeanette's advice.
So maybe, one or two things that looking at that young girl, you would say, do this or focus on this or think about these things. What would you say?
Advice I can give to young girls is listen. Listen and understand. Because mom talk, mama teach, mama coach, but on the end of once you're out of to go to college, you're no longer with mom and dad or your siblings. You're by yourself. But because you have learn a lesson, like when I teach, when I learn. So I'm living today. I am grateful for my mother. You saw my mother, how sweet she is. She's such a caring person, but she can get upset when you're not listening. So when you know your parents loved you already, they will not talk nice. They will not talk to teach you if they didn't care about you. So I would tell any young person not to make a mistake if they are able to avoid. Mistake on the example. Don't allow a friend, just because they're a friend, to try to control you, to control your mind. Because whatever you learn from your parents, and then you're not with your parents, but you're in the dorm, and you're in college, you try to be an adult. Remember what your mama taught you. Remember what your daddy taught you. Remember what that auntie talked to you about life. Because that is a blessing to have those information for you, for your work. So you don't hiding nothing inside you. It's good to share with those you love. It's good you talk to the parents, see if you have an issue that you're hiding from your mom or your dad or your aunt or anybody. But it's very good to allow that issue to come out, concern you have, to share. Besides, you sit with it. Yes, you pray about it. You're a Christian kid. They teach you how to pray. Maybe even that prayer is not helping you by itself. Maybe you need to get it out. Share with your parents. Share with your counselor, so they can help you find what you desire. Sometimes it's the word Sarah tell me change my work. So the word another person change my thought. Don't make a wrong decision because you're young. Just be who God made you to be and understand everything that has been deposited in you. Because when our parents teach us, they're putting some wisdom in us and we work with it. If it was not a good mother I have, I won't be Jeannette I am today. I won't be a good leader as I am today. So I have a good mother. She was a hard worker, but I know she loves me. And I know everything she was putting in me to do, make sure I go to school, make sure I go to the private school. And, we're not rich, but she was doing all that. She was the mother. So I always want to be that kind of woman who's strong, who's not complaining all the time. So young person, if they're listening, don't complain too much. Just be grateful for who you are. If you know so much, if you don't know so much, be grateful for who you are. Just is you're looking after. You're not looking for nobody else's praise, but you praise God. Your walk of faith is a young girl. You are my leader tomorrow. You're gonna talk to me. I'm gonna sit and listen to your podcast, listen to your teaching. So that's all I can say. Be a good role model for your future. The future is theirs.
Yeah. That's good. And if our daughters are listening, your mother has wisdom, right? Right, Aaron?
we're gonna replay that part
times.
for our kids.
Okay, I'm gonna change this next question a little bit. So if you don't like it, you can tell me you don't like it. But we like to talk about books on our podcast, and so we normally ask, what books are you reading? Which you can answer that. Or what are some books that will help our listeners understand, is there a good story about a refugee that would help us understand even better the life of a refugee? Like if you don't have one, it's okay. We can erase this question. But so what would be, are there any good stories to read to help us understand the life of a refugee?
So I know they have this movie called Hotel in Rwanda a few years ago. It was a very good documentary. It was good because it shows you how you wake up and you become a refugee.
Yeah.
So that's how Rwandan, they woke up and they were a refugee. And I don't read any books so much because I don't really have time to sit down and just read the book. I listen a lot. So I listen a lot of podcasts. And I really listen to a lot of information from what is going on around the world. So I don't have any book, but it would be good if you look for refugees in abroad, overseas. Not only in America, they all placed in different countries all around the world.
Right.
And they're all like related to each other. So in example, when you are a refugee in Congo and you're my siblings, and you're in Tanzania or Burundi or in Rwanda, we have refugees in Rwanda. You can be repressed in Australia, and I've been in America, Poland, and your loved one is in America. So it's all kinds of country that the refugee they are living, but they still try. Once they have their citizenship or green card, they're able to meet as a family and have a good conversation. My prayer is that one day they move in one country and they be together as a family, because traveling is hard.
Yeah.
I don't travel so much because it's so hard on your body when you're traveling. I salute those who travel every month, every year, but it's hard.
Yeah. Okay, so did you watch that movie? Was that hard for you?
Yes, it was hard.
Yeah.
It takes me back again.
Ooh.
But the whole movie, the hotel in Rwanda is my neighbor. So now you can see the reason why. Sometimes, but now Rwanda is very changed. It's like Singapore. So it's clean. When I went back in 2013 to visit my parents, my family, and everything was so beautiful, but I was confused.
Yeah.
I was lost. Everything is different. So they have they have built my neighborhood to the towers. So my neighborhood is no longer there, so I didn't know where I'm going. I was just riding.
Yeah.
Okay, take me home.
Is there still that tension, that racial tension that was there during the genocide? No, it's all gone.
We have a good president. He's bringing peace to Rwanda. He's keeping the country clean. Yeah. The Rwandan country is strong right now. If you go visit Rwanda, you'll be like, yes, I have good vacation. I like the Rwandan air.
Ah.
So the Colorado air is like Rwanda air. It's like a clean. Rwanda, if you go visit it, you love it. Yeah. The reason you love it is just, you feel like you're in another cleanest country. So that's how I thought I was going to come to America, cleanest country. But it was too strict for me because I'm coming from America. We're not that strict. So they were too strict. You park your car anyway. No, they come and tell you, move it. So here
in Rwanda they did. Now they have so many.
You can
rules.
even wear a flip flop in the city. It's that clean. Really? Yeah, global warming. So you can use plastic bags to carry your stuff, and it's so clean.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so when you wanna go visit East Africa, visit Rwanda. Okay. I know you're gonna wanna go to Kilimanjaro. You can see Kilimanjaro from Kigali, but you can walk there.
Can't walk there.
Okay, Jeannette, so last question that we love to ask all the women who come on our podcast. Well, actually, all of our guests. But if you could have coffee or tea or a glass of wine, whatever you prefer, with any woman in history, who would you choose?
Oh, that's probably my grandmother.
Okay, tell us about
I never
your
get to
grandmother.
meet her.
Okay.
But that's where my faith is coming from.
Is that your dad's mom or your mom's mom?
My dad's mom.
Okay.
So my mama never see her mother because she gave birth to her and she died.
Wow.
Yeah, so she never see her mama. She only know my grandmother. When she will marry to my daddy, she will visit her a lot. But my grandmother, I have her middle name. Her name is my middle name. Oh, Gawishma.
Gawishma. What's it mean?
I don't know the meaning of it.
It's just her name.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, her name is my middle name.
Got it.
So I love it because this is my grandmother's name, and she was a Christian, and she prays for us. So when she got blinded in her old age, like 98, she was like, I don't want my grandchildren to see me this way, but tell them I always pray for them. So that it touches me. I wish I could see her, but she lives in another state from where we live. And she did not want to travel. She did not want to come from Changugu to Kigali because it's like 5-hour travel. And we understand that. So Daddy told us, your grandma will like you guys. No, she loves you guys. Even us, she knows us by the voice. When the sons, they come inside and daughters, she know who's coming inside.
Even though she couldn't see, she could hear your voice.
And she would tell you, I only see Jesus right now.
Aww.
So I love her.
Yeah.
I love her. She's our angel. She prayed for us, like I says. And I wish I could have coffee with her.
Yeah.
Or tea with her. African, we love tea.
Tea, okay.
Coffee is our next thing. I'm supposed to drink coffee more now than tea.
Yeah.
That's the American influence on you, right?
Yes,
Now you're drinking more coffee.
I drink more coffee than tea because I have allergies, so I have to drink something keeps me away from allergies.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, I love that choice. I can't wait to meet your grandma one day.
Yes, my grandma. She was so sweet. I wish I could see her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I never meet my grandpa, my daddy's father. But my daddy's father was not the one who lead us to Christ. My grandmother was the one who lead our children to Christ.
I love that.
Yes.
Well, Jeannette. Sorry. Go ahead.
And then I was just after the genocide, she died. And genocide, nobody was traveling back forth.
Oh,
Yeah, so they just buried her. We didn't even go to her funeral. So, yeah.
That's a loss.
It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. That's why I say, Rondon, thank you, Lord, for strengthening us. Because if it's not God, some of us will be lost our mind. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jeannette, I love you, sister, and I'm so glad that
Thank
you
you.
trusted me
Thank you for having
and came on.
me
Yeah.
on your talk show today, podcast. And strong woman, I am strong woman.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so that's me.
Yeah. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for you.
Thank
I'm thankful
you.
for our friendship and all that I'm learning from you, and I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here too. I am happy to meet you all. Yes.
Yeah.